Love featuring artists you should know about. And today we're heading to Arkansas to chat with singer-songwriter Beaux Jenkins from Beaux Jenkins and the 357s. Beaux grew up in Boone County, Arkansas. He's been traveling the road since 2008, going from bar to bar, playing his own music. He's now joined up with the 357s, a group of independent artists that have come together, and they just released their brand new single called Stay. We're excited to have Beaux Jenkins on the show. First, Beaux, thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, wow. I'm researching you, and Bronco Billy and the Wild West Mustangs keep coming up. Was that your name before? When did we change? I mean, this was recently when we changed this, right, Beaux?
Yeah, so that was just like an experiment deal, trying to see, like, if I should stay with my own name or if I should go with, like, a stage name. And I went back and forth, and I just decided to stay with my own name because that's what everybody already knew me by, so.
Well, exactly, because you've been out there for the last 15 years as Beaux Jenkins,
yeah.
So.
Well, I wanted to be like my great-uncle. My great-uncle was Conway Twitty, but his real name's Harold Jenkins, so I thought I needed a stage name, too. But I would rather just stay with my own, and so that's what I decided to do.
Exactly. Well, I was going to mention Conway, because, yes, you are the nephew of Conway Twitty, who his name was Harold Jenkins, his original name. How old are you, Beaux? Because he died in 1993. I'm
41. I seen Conway. I was probably 7 when he was in Branson, Missouri, before he passed away that night. My granddad and I, we went up there and we saw him perform. We talked to him for a little bit, and as he was heading back to Nashville, he passed away from an aneurysm.
Oh, geez. So you actually saw his last show in Branson?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I said I was probably about 7. I could have been 6, but
yeah.
I was a young guy.
How crazy is that? Yeah, Conway was only 59 years old. That was amazing when I was looking that up yesterday.
Now, when I was young, I didn't realize how big of a star he was. I just knew him as a guy that sang music, but I really didn't understand the whole concept when I was that young.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, he had the most #1 hits for years until George Strait just broke it. Like, I mean, I think he held the record for over 20 years with the most #1 songs on country radio. I mean, just unbelievable career and gone way too early. But yeah, I mean, well, and it's weird because, I mean, there's a lot of weird parallels because just like you said, you were trying a different name. Conway, and I heard that Conway Twitty got it from a town in like Arkansas, a town in Texas or something, is where he came up with Conway Twitty. But I was like, you could be Beaux Twitty.
Well, so we joked about that before because I was in Nashville probably a month ago, and I was talking to my cousins, and they were like, "Why don't you just be Beaux Twitty?" And I said, I couldn't do that name justice. So
yeah, that would be a lot to live up to. I think.
Yes, sir.
That'd be pretty crazy. Well, and then I saw your City Lights album that came out in like 2010. It said it featured the 357s. So you kind of had the 357s brewing, or what?
Well, I think what happened when we were trying to put out the 357s deal, it copied all that to my rhythm music that I already had out acoustically. And so instead of like trying to go back and change all that, we just kind of left it like it was.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then the Bronco Billy and the Wild Mustangs is pretty much wiped out, so that's good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now it's just you. It's funny because you've been on the road since 2008, which is crazy. And you said you don't like social media, but on your website now you have like this Desert Rose Marketing, and then I found you from Caden Gordon. So do we have some people that are helping you out now?
Yes, sir. I finally, I did this for so long, just kind of going in Arkansas and Oklahoma, and I'm to the time now where, like, I'm not the best songwriter, but I do feel like I have some good songs, and so I'm like, I'd really like to get out there. So now we're, like, in Texas, and we're in Kansas and Colorado. We're in New Mexico, we're in Nashville, we're in Kentucky, so I try to get some people to help me to actually get my music out there and stay independently at the same time. And so hopefully, people start catching on, they're listening to my stuff, and I hope they like it,
Yeah, for sure. No, the stuff's sounding great, and he does. If you go check him out, Beaux Jenkins, it's Beaux Jenkins. If you go and look for him, he's got a couple acoustic EPs all the way back to 2010. So, he's been putting out music for quite a while. So are the new shows, are they a full band shows, or just you?
No, it's a full band. Now, there are still some acoustic shows that I still get booked to play, and so, but the majority of them are all full band.
Yeah, and then this past weekend, you gave a shout-out to Oklahoma and Texas. You had some good shows.
Oh, yes, sir. We were in Grove, Oklahoma, and Texarkana, Texas, and they were really good. They were fun.
Yeah, and the crazy thing, you mentioned Conway, and his last show was in Branson. You played Branson back on the 3rd. You're getting ready to play Branson again Friday night. Is it the same venue, or do we bounce around in Branson, Missouri? Where's it at?
It's going to be at Waxy O'Shea's Irish Pub. It's the same venue. You're kind of limited in the Branson area because, other than the big shows where they have the same performers all the time, for artists like myself, there's only 2 other places to play in Branson, so
wow,
pick what you can get.
Huh. So it's kind of limited for people that are coming through.
Oh, yes, sir.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, you must have got in because you've been playing there, and you got a few dates on the list in Branson.
Yeah, that's kind of like a local gig for us because where I live, we're only 45 minutes from Branson. Fayetteville and Branson, it's about the same distance for us. Fayetteville, Arkansas, it's getting really popular in the music scene now. So it's a good combination for us to jump back and forth from that area and call it local.
Huh. Interesting. Go check Beau out. He's at Beaux Jenkins 357 with an S 357s.com. He's on Facebook, Instagram. His brand new single "Stay" is out now. You can also go to Spotify and check out a bunch of his other singles on there. Well, I found a couple songs. We played Doreen earlier. That and Heading South. Are these both new releases along with "Stay"?
Yes, sir. We got a new album coming out. Heading South is the title of the album, and it should be out within 3 weeks. We're finishing up everything for Thursday night, and so we're going to actually release it in probably 3 weeks. So.
Oh, nice. Well, and then the 357s, it says you guys are all a bunch of independent artists that have came together. Did you know the guys, or where did we get them all?
So my lead guitar player, he is, I went to high school with him, and we've known each other forever.
Oh, wow.
The drummer's at Branson, Missouri, and then the bass player is also out of Branson, Missouri.
Nice. Well, that's cool. And then, so are you still writing all the songs?
Yes, sir. I do got, there's 2 songs that I got co-written, and they'll be out on this album also.
Okay. So Heading South, be looking for that. And the tour is heading south right now. And yeah, and you mentioned Colorado. I mean, I would think you'd want to head a little more west. I think we'd love you out here, Beau.
Well, so I'm not 100% sure just yet. I'm waiting on a confirmation, but I believe we're going to be in Jackson, Wyoming in October. We're going to be at the $1 Million Cowboy.
$1 Million Cowboy, nice.
Yes, so I'm still waiting on a confirmation from them, and we are trying to go out west. We finally got into New Mexico, and then we've had some opportunities to try to go out into Wyoming and Utah. It's just trying to get everything booked and to get our names further out that way for people to commit to us. I've noticed that it's harder for independent guys that aren't very known in the area to a bar to take a risk on you.
Yeah. Well, and if you go to his website, you can see the dates. He's in Branson this weekend. Then, yeah, you're going to be heading to New Mexico in the middle of June, then Texas, Oklahoma, and then you even have a date in Pittsburgh, Kansas coming up around the end of June. So go and check him out if you can, if you're listening in any of those areas. But, I mean, you're a road warrior, Beau. I mean, you love being on the road.
Well, I just feel like that's part of, just kind of part of music, and I like, a lot of my songs are storytelling songs, so I like to get out there and tell my stories to people that, wouldn't have an opportunity to hear me if they weren't in my area.
Yeah, I mean, what are we telling? The stories about the songs? We bring up Conway, your life, living in Arkansas, or all the above?
Well, I guess all the above, because most of the stories are all the songs that I've written. I've lived some part of that, and, it's just like, I can't really write fictional songs, so a lot of these songs are all something in my life that's happened that I've lived through, so.
Nice. Well, and then what was it, your grandpa Charles that you were listening to music to? Was he Conway's brother, or how does it all work?
Yeah, so my granddaddy and Conway were, I believe, half brothers, and but yeah, so my grandpa was a big influence in my life when it came to music. Like, we listened to the big bands from like the 20s and 30s, and we listened to a lot of like B.B. King, and he just influenced me in a way that if it wasn't for him, I don't really know if I would have got into music.
Yeah. Well, and Conway was kind of a rocker to begin with too, and you've got a little rock influence in you.
I do. So when I was growing up, I listened to like a whole lot of like Bad Religion and Green Day and Offspring, like punk rock metal, and then I realized growing up I couldn't play that style of music around here. It didn't go, so I went into bluegrass. And I had my first band was a bluegrass band, but bluegrass wouldn't sell. And so I moved out to Oklahoma for a while, and that's where I learned what red dirt was. My first show I seen out there was Cross Canadian Ragweed, who are like the godfathers of red dirt music. Yeah. And when I moved back to Arkansas, I tried to bring that with me, and nobody really dug it. And so I just kept on and on and on, and finally, like, it's just caught on everywhere now, so hopefully I can continue that tradition,
Exactly. Keep the buzz going. Go check him out. Beaux Jenkins, 357s.com. He's on Facebook, Instagram. Go to Spotify. Check out his stuff. His brand new single, Stay, is out now, and you're going to hear it here in a minute. When was the last time you got a tattoo, Beau?
Oh, I don't know. Probably a year ago.
Oh, okay, so it hadn't been too long ago. I mean, how many do you have? They're all over your arms.
I think last time I checked, I had 35 maybe.
And I don't know if I found a picture with you without a ball cap on. Do we have like a closet full of hats?
I probably have 50 hats in my closet. Yeah.
Yeah. Every picture he's got a hat on, and a different hat in every picture. So I was like, man, Beau's got some hats. And then you're a huge LSU Tiger football fan.
Oh, yes, sir. My family come out of Bunkie, Louisiana, which is just, I shouldn't know about all of us, but my other grandparents, they came out of Bunkie, which is right outside Baton Rouge, and then my other grandparents come from eastern Arkansas, which is Helena. And growing up, both my granddaddies happened to play at LSU. My grandpa Jenkins was there, and I think 57 to 60, and then my other granddad played there from, I think it was 62 to 64, I believe, and they both happened to move to Boone County, and that's how my parents met.
Wow. Crazy. Huh, that's awesome.
It's a small world.
Yeah, it is. That's for sure. What do you think about Jaden Daniels at Washington? You think he's going to do good?
I hope so. I mean, I got the best hopes for him. I'm not really big on the Washington, but hey,
yeah.
They drafted Darius Grice out of there a few years back, and he got hurt before he ever had an opportunity. So I just hope, Daniels got a better chance.
Yeah. So I mean, do we like do we like Joe Burrow? I mean, do we follow other guys when they leave LSU?
That's Bayou Joe, of course. Like him. Yeah, so I don't have an NFL team I like. I just watch all them LSU Tigers where they go, and I wish them all the best.
Yeah, you're bleeding blue and gold, or blue and yellow, or whatever LSU calls them.
That purple and gold.
Purple and gold. Yes, he is for sure. That's awesome. Well, tell us about the song, Beau.
So there's a bar down in Little Rock, and it's called the Whitewater Tavern. And a few years ago, we were down there, and I was playing with this group, and there was a girl there, and I was talking to her, whatever. And then before I actually got to get her number or whatever, she just bounced out, and she told me anyway. She goes, "I don't like music, guys. Y'all all the same." And I just kind of wrote her off, and I laughed about it. Well, I was trying to write new songs, and I just wrote about that instance, and it actually turned out to be quite popular with people. And so I hope it's like that number one that I've been looking for to get me to wherever I want to go.
Exactly. Well, and you said everything's got kind of a story behind it. We played Doreen. Tell us about that one.
So Doreen just happened to be, we were sitting in Tulsa one night, and this guy walked up, and he handed me the lyrics and everything. He said, "Man, I'd really like for you to record the song." But the other guys in the group I was in at the time, they didn't really care much for it. And so we went on, and this is in 2013, and we went on, never worried about it. And then 2016, maybe 17, Turnpike Troubadours came out with a song called Doreen, and it's quite the same. And so I told them, I called my guitar player that I used to play with me, and I told him, I said, "See, if we record this song, we would be solid gold." I said, "But you didn't like it." And so I went ahead and I redid it, and that's how we got Doreen.
Crazy. That's a story there. A guy comes up to you and hands you the lyrics and says, "I want you to record this song." I mean, that's amazing. Does that happen often? I mean, I imagine people probably give you music sometimes.
Yeah, so just being in this business, you meet people all the time, and I don't care to talk to people. I'll talk to them all night, and I get all kinds of people. They're like, "Hey, can I get your number? I'll send you songs and stuff." And so I get a lot of lyrics, I get a lot of music, and then it just, sometimes I put them together, and sometimes they're not my songs, and I can't do them justice because I don't know what them people were feeling at the time.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, you probably had a ton of experiences out on the road. You've probably seen some crazy stuff.
Well, I've learned a lot. I've learned that, this part of my life, it's a business. And beforehand, it was all about having a good time. And
yeah,
I guess I really didn't care about the whole music at the time. I was just there to have a party with everybody. But now it's a business. So, I'll still socialize with you and everything. But when we're done, we pack up, we hit the bus, and we're on the road to the next show.
Yeah. You're getting a little older and wiser, and yeah, you got to pay the bills.
Yeah, and I like sleep. I don't like staying up all night partying. I like to go to bed,
Oh, that too. Well, go and check them out and see them on the road, and hopefully they'll get out here in Jackson. And if you need another date, get a hold of me, and maybe we'll get you around this area as well. But Beaux Jenkins, 357.com. He's on Facebook, Instagram. Go and follow him. Go to Spotify, listen to their stuff. And the brand new single, Stay, is out now. And then heading south, what'd you say, in the next couple weeks?
Yes, sir. We're shooting for 3 weeks for it to be all done and out. Like I said, Thursday we're in the studio finishing up the last 2 songs, and then we just got to make sure everything's right before it gets sent out, and then that'll be it. We're trying to do vinyls on this one. We're going to try to do a vinyl record if people would like to buy it, and so we're trying to get all that done and set before we put it out.
Nice. Well, that'd be awesome to sell at shows. Sell those babies like hotcakes. Or hopefully.
I hope.
Because that's a big investment in vinyl.
Oh, yeah. Merchandise is a different beast within itself. Like, we were in Nashville a few weeks ago, and I took, like, 200-something shirts with us, and I wasn't quite sure how they were going to sell, and we probably sold 100 the first night, and the second night we didn't sell anything, so I was like, well, I got some for other gigs. So it's just a big investment. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know. Well, go and check him out, follow him. And here is the brand new single. It's Stay by Beaux Jenkins and the 357th. Beaux, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
It's KIX 96.5.